What's going on, everybody? Thank you for coming along. Episode 7. We are back to back Stanley Cup champions.
Woo,
What a
woo.
week. What a
A
summer.
year this week has been.
The summer of Cesar.
From
Or
elbow room to 11 to back to elbow room, right?
to to Fort Lauderdale Beach. Let's go. I want to thank everybody who's in the chat, who's on Facebook, who's on Instagram. Thank you guys all for tuning along, joining us on this emergency somewhat episode. There's just so much to cover. I want to introduce my special co-hosts here. On the top in the middle, I got Cameron and Shauna, or Shauna and Cameron. You guys need to like switch because it looks like Shauna is Cameron and Cameron is Shauna.
It's funny because here it looks like it's right.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, that's kind of weird. And then we got the one and only Sierra, who's related to Shauna, right?
Yeah, we have the same parents.
I think so, right?
and we have Kelly, the twin, who looks like Shauna.
And we do not have the same parents.
No.
I do not.
And our first co-host here, and the first hockey, or her first year being a hockey fan, or Florida Panther fan, Victoria. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Oh my goodness. What a wild ride, guys. Where do we begin?
I guess, do you want to go to 11 or what rate are we start at? We already talked
I
about
would
it.
not mind going back and doing it all over again. It was just such an awesome moment. Man, it was incredible. Just the vibe. And for those of you who haven't like caught up and listened to our last episode, I kind of explained how 11 happened, how we got there, how Chucky ended up getting me on the floor, on the stage, waterboarding me. It was, I think everybody on X, Instagram, were so concerned about my health. And it was amazing because, like, when I woke up the next morning, I got all these notifications saying, "Is Cesar okay? Is Cesar okay?" And I was like, and I guess somebody sent me a picture. I don't know who it was. Was it you, Cameron? With like my face like up in the air, just screaming. I was like, I gotta post this. And I was like, so I posted that picture and I was like, rise and shine, motherfuckers. So I thought everybody loved it. So thanks everybody in the chat for joining us today. What an incredible ride. The Panthers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. And this has been one of the most memorable journeys of my life. And honestly, I couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for coming along the ride with me, but not only for coming along, but for helping me out and experience this together. I know last year was very emotional with everything that happened 2 years ago with my little brother Sean and with my surgery, me going in cardiac arrest. And this year was a totally like different journey, right? This was like more fun, exciting party vibe, all you name it, right?
It was all euphoric.
Right.
Last year I was super stressed. I was still super high stressed every freaking round, you know. And this year, no matter what, I was kind of like, I think they got it. I think they got it. And there was just so much good vibes coming throughout the entire postseason towards your way, Cesar.
It was amazing, and it all for those of you who kind of catch you up briefly. All of this started through a little beef with me and Biz Nasty. For those of you who don't really know who Biz Nasty is a co-host on TNT. Used to be a former player for the Coyotes, and I believe Philadelphia. And he's a big, huge Toronto Maple Leafs fan, almost to the point like I am, which is kind of how how funny it is, how it all coincided, right? because he loves the Maple Leafs just as much as I love the Panthers, as we all do, right? And he came out and he started making fun of all 27 dirtbag fans.
27 or I thought it was
27.
26.5.
It was at this. After he said that and I posted a video, Toronto fans started making fun of me, saying 26 and a half. So I was like, let's go. And
You gotta
everybody,
own it.
I own that, just like Marchand owned everything, like being the rat that he is, right? So I owned it. We went back and forth, and it's so crazy how that series ended and how one video turned everything to where what happened this weekend, right? Just amazing. Um, I'm honestly lost for words. I'm still trying to recollect everything, trying to soak it all in because there's just so much, right? I
Well,
haven't really had enough time to think about like every detail yet.
Then let's go back to like how we started to plan for the parade, which was basically like as soon as you woke up from your your days at 11. I remember I posted on my ex the GIF from The Hangover when Stu's putting on his glasses. I was like, this is probably how Caesar's waking
Dude,
up right now.
I saw that. I died laughing. That was the
Yeah.
Oh my
best.
gosh,
shit.
that was so funny.
Honestly, for those of you guys who don't know Cameron, you got to follow his Twitter account or X account. He has literally the best GIF game out there. Shout out to Cam, bro.
And his content has been reposted by a couple of the big places.
Yeah, Bleacher Report and TNT were all over my stuff throughout the parade and while I was at the Elbow Room on
And-
Friday chasing down.
And
Right.
Spittin Chiclets.
Oh yeah, and Chiclets. Oh yeah.
No, for sure. And man, it's been incredible. Shouts out to you guys again. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. We're already past 500 subscribers, so that's amazing. Truly, truly awesome. We're moving on up in the world. And we'll kind of get into how I got some special things that I want to talk about later. But yeah, let's go into how we started planning. How did we plan on getting in the parade? Like, it was crazy because I don't think none of us really slept the night before, right?
I slept. I so totally
You're-
slept.
Well,
I-
that's
the only
normal. That's normal. You fall asleep at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So
Cameron can sleep anywhere. But I think the big thing with this parade is because of last year's, we learned so much. Shout out again to Kelly, the MVP, for bringing her tent last year when it poured and rained, and we were all super worried about Cesar's chair. So this year we're like, okay, what did we learn from last year? And me being the A-type person that I am, made like a whole Google Doc of like checklists of what we need to bring. I don't think Cesar read it, but I know everyone else in the chat did.
I read it, and you helped my anxiety for packing and everything so much. So I love you for that.
And so we knew too, because like last year I was freaking out because I had no idea what to expect, what we're gonna do. So last year we got there at 7, and then this year like we have to get there even earlier. So we all woke up because we didn't sleep at like 4 a.m. and got there before 6 a.m. We were there, it was pitch black.
We were in the parking garage by 5:45 a.m.
Mhm.
Like
Right.
sun was not up, but we certainly were.
and we were
And
there
we-
actually because I think last year, Kelly, right? We were there around 8, 7 o'clock, 7:30.
I
It was
think it was
7.
like between like 6:30 and 7 maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was
Right.
like
I
we
think
were on the
we got there right as the sunrise was going
Okay.
up. Is what
Yeah.
time we got there last year.
For
because
sure.
we were on the water taxi at 7, and I think you guys were already there.
Yeah, and it wasn't a. Last year we were like, oh man, it's starting to get crowded, but it does not compare to what it was this year.
Well, we
Yeah.
didn't even make it to A1A, and you had already gotten stopped. I want to say at least like 2 or 3 times before we had even gotten to the sidewalk of the beach.
Right?
Yeah. So you had already taken 2 pictures, and it wasn't even 7 o'clock.
It was crazy. Oh man, like just the crowd was already coming in. We had a lot of people this year brought tents, and I think it was because of us, right?
Yeah.
So, like
Oh, yeah.
We
We
were
were
the-
the only one last year. If you see the whole
Right.
like overhead view, you could spot where we were because it's like there's the only tent.
Mhm.
right? and a lot of people came up to us were like, "Damn, you guys were the only smart ones to bring tent." And shouts out to Kelly. Um, and last year they didn't give us crap about the tent. This year, on the other hand, we had a little bit of an issue in the beginning, but I
But we
think when they
got
saw everybody else bring a tent out, they're like, "Okay, there's nothing we can really do, right?"
And to be fair,
Take it
there wasn't thousands of tents along the parade route on the street. The majority of the tents were all along the beach. To be
Right?
fair, so yeah.
Yeah, and I think the big thing too, especially like the reason why we need the tent is more for you and to make sure
Right.
that you have your space and your chair is safe. Because honestly, when it was like not working till the end of the day, I'm like, oh my gosh, I had to get overheated somehow. Did it get wet? Like, what happened to it? Like, we were so worried, but it all worked out, and we had a lot of time to kill
Oh
before the
yes.
parade.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So we had a
Thank
whole bunch
God.
of food.
Yeah, thank God for Starbucks there, right? Because
That
literally
took
I
an
was like,
hour.
guys, I need
One
coffee. I
barista.
don't know where we're gonna get it, but we need to get me some coffee. So I'm a big coffee buff, and I felt bad for the ladies there because I think there was only two or three of them. Or
There
one.
was one
There
at
was
first
one,
and
right?
then two because she said the rest of the staff was all stuck in traffic.
And the line was literally up to the door,
It took us an
and
hour.
it took us an hour literally just to get coffee, and it was crazy, and that's where we saw this guy. Shout out, I forgot his name. Gosh, he was wearing a Dairy Queen jersey, and he's like, "I don't care what I have to do, but I want to get Brad Marchand to sign it." And guess what?
He did?
He signed it, even
Wow.
though it was on the
Nice.
back of the jersey.
Don't matter,
He
man. That's
signed it
cool.
on the front. He's like, I wanted it on the back, but it doesn't matter. He got the rat
There you go.
himself to sign the jersey. Shouts out to my man out there. So awesome to see. Man, it was just so incredible when we first got there. Just the amount of love and support that I was just receiving. I'm honestly in shock, overwhelmed. Um, of like everybody. Like we literally took two steps or three steps, and there's someone there. Hey, Big C's, can I take a picture? Hey, Big C's, can we take a picture? And shouts out to you, Shauna, Cameron, Pearl, and Sierra for being there, and Kelly too, whenever she's there, and
Yeah.
Victoria, and all of you guys. Like, do you want me to take the picture for you?
We were ready for it. We
We're
knew it was
moving out
coming.
of the way because we don't
Yeah.
want to be in the background.
Right.
Yeah.
One point you literally like had a line of people behind me. I felt like you were like Mickey
Yes.
Mouse.
right? It's crazy. And shout out to Jimmy here. Cameron and I met him. He's a big
Jimmy.
New York Ranger fan.
Jimmy G.
Awesome people. He's, I believe, are you from Montreal? Um, I think he told me he's from Montreal, but he's a big, huge New York Ranger fan. And yes, thank you for reminding me. I did call the Marchand to Florida literally 5 minutes before it happened, and on the Cats and Rats podcast with me, Nick, and Kirby, and we were on there, and we couldn't believe it happened when it did happen. But shout out to Jimmy, thank you for coming on here. He's also a big Knicks fan, and he loves his hockey so much too. But kind of going back to what we were talking about, guys, after Shauna and I got the coffee, we ended up going back to our tent, and we're just hanging out, and we just
I
saw
was
the
devouring
crowd.
my pub sub right there. See,
I don't
8
know how you
a.m.
did
8
it so
a.m.
early. I don't
Yeah.
know how you did it so early, but crazy. I ended up getting a banana walnut bread. So good, so good. I don't even think I even finished it all, but
You didn't.
You didn't finish your
no.
coffee either, by the
I
way.
was just so like I was so juiced up for the parade to start. I'm like, when the hell is it gonna start? Like, where the players are gonna come out and even just to go around, roll around the area, meet the people. Because honestly, everything that I did this year was for all of the fans. Honestly, it was for every fan out there. Year in and year out, we've been called losers. We've been called like, oh, Florida doesn't have enough fans. Their fan base are trash. And for Biz to come out this year and say all 27 dirtbag fans, and Toronto saying 26 and a half. Well, you know what? Guess what? Back to
Yeah.
back Stanley Cup champions. Let's go. So this was for all of you guys. Thank you so much for like the support, the love. Um, the amount of messages that I've gotten from people is truly amazing, and I've never thought I would be in the situation where I'm at now, where I could touch so many lives. And shout out to Biz, even though he did call us Florida Panther fans out, none of this would be possible without him. The amount of support that I've gotten from him, Ryan Whitney, the crew from Spittin Chiclets, the guys from Empty Netters, Chris and Dan, awesome, awesome people. Canadian Oldie, my boy, literally calls me every single day to see how I'm doing. Like he and I have become best friends. The guy is awesome, really good people. And shouts out to Jesse. I love you, bro. We had such a great time with Jesse. Um, I think he was like on cloud nine, even though his Winnipeg Jets didn't win anything, didn't win the cup, or he's like, I had one of the most memorable moments in my hockey like content life ever. And kind of talk about how Jesse was, guys, when we were hanging out with him.
Well, some of the content he got was of me holding up AJ Greer's hair at the elbow room.
Yes,
Unfortunately,
yes.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he was such a nice dude too, and I remember he was telling us when he was there, he was like, dude, I've gotten so much great content. Everybody's been so cool. This is such a great place. Like everybody really loves this team. You could really see it from an outside perspective, seeing it for the first time.
Right, and like he was also saying, like if you're playing in Florida, if you're a player trying to come to Florida and you're just visiting, how could you leave this place, or how could you not want to play here? And I know for years past it used to be like, oh, you come to Florida, you're just coming here to retire. Well, not anymore. Shout out to Benny Viola and everything that he's done to the team, changing the culture. And I know a lot of people were upset when he changed the crest on the jersey, but him change like the little things that he changed were for the better of the team, right? And his wife, I got a chance to meet him and his wife again. Um, Amazing people. They gave me the biggest hug ever. They're like, "We're so happy for you, Cesar. This was such an incredible run, and don't forget, we're going to do it again next year." And, you know, that just means that you have an owner that wants to spend money, that is willing to spend top dollar to keep the winning product. And how important is that in in a franchise, right? For as many years as we were at the bottom of the barrel, right, Cam? I mean, we used to go to get tickets for free, literally, at
Mhm.
from
Michael
people that
Yormark.
didn't give a
I got a
shit,
ticket from Michael Yormark, who used to be the CEO of the team.
right? Shouts out to Die Hard here. Yes, I did have good view of the stage. I actually ended up going to VIP area, but we'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. Let's kind of go now. What
Do you want to
area?
talk about the signs that we made?
Yes,
And
I was
we, I
gonna.
mean Kelly, Cece, and Victoria.
Amazing signs, right? Just incredible. And let me see if I can pull them up. But guys, what, what, what made you guys create these signs?
Wanted to draw the attention over and make sure that they saw you and because the whole thing was we thought that you deserved to be in that parade as well as so many other people on Twitter and whatnot and anything to say right here, come over here.
It was just
But Kelly,
amazing.
can you talk about your Stanley Cheese Cup one that you made? Because that's one of my favorites.
Actually have it. I can
Okay,
show
Oh.
you because
can you take that
that
out?
turned out
Yes.
awesome.
That was amazing.
Yes, we have to get this to Victor E. Rat. So Victor E. Rat, if you're watching this, this is for you.
Have to.
Yes.
Oh,
And I'll
I
lift it
love
over
it.
my
I
head
love it.
like
yeah.
it's
Let-
the
Yes.
cup.
So,
Yes.
Yeah.
so do you have to kiss
Legend
that, or
of
do
the
you give it a little
Sonic
bite?
Theory.
Oh my goodness. And kind of talk about how you're real quick. I kind of want to go back a little bit before we move on, Kelly, because this is your first time experiencing that kind of somewhat in person with your daughter Shaylee, and kind of tell the backstory of how she fell in love with Victor the rat and what he.
So I don't know why she really picked Victor over Stanley, but she just had this bond with him, and she would make him like gifts and stuff. She's made him bracelets and stuff, and there's this. She gifted him this one piece of cheese. It's about this big, and after she gifted that to him, he literally brought it out onto the ice with him after every single game. Celebrate it, look like he's eating it, play around with it. And just after that we knew that we had to make something that we could give to him, another gift, another cheese gift. And I think I think it started with a TikTok post where he said that he wished that people threw cheese on the ice instead of rats. And so I was like, okay, we could work with that.
Right? And so now every time we win, Victor has that cheese out on the ice, and that's the same cheese Shaylee gave him, which is really awesome that he does that. And every time we win, she has the biggest smile on her face. It Nothing beats that, right?
No, not at all. That's why I love it. That's why I pay the money, go to the games and stuff, because it's such great bonding time with her, and it's just something that we get to do together. And I love that. And I love that I get to enjoy that with her.
That's awesome. And Victoria, I kind of want to get your story here because this is your first time actually going to the games, right? Explain how your experience was this year during the Stanley Cup.
Well, I started going to the games in October. Like, honest to God, like, I grew up here in Florida, so the Panthers have always been like a team that I've known, but I've never been into hockey or many sports. But this year I decided to try something new, and you guys were all into hockey, so it's so easy to kind of like already jump into a sport that had friends that were like so willing to kind of help me learn the ropes. I learned the rules of the game. I'm always like in the chat asking you guys like, what does that mean? Why did they blow the whistle?
Right.
But between like all of the content, meeting you at the games and hanging out and honestly watching the games together, I feel like I've been on an accelerated learning curve. Um,
And
and
we're
so
so proud of you because, like, honestly, you're like, you know so much now in
Yeah.
little time. Both of you and Kelly, like, you guys are amazing. And for you to keep following, because I think you said you follow the Cats and Rats podcast sometimes and you listen to us. And then you see Jesse Pollock and a whole bunch of other people on X just learning the game. That's really awesome to see. So, yeah, no, that's awesome.
I mean, it's you who I want to sit next to because you have all of this really good knowledge to share, like, and you explain it so well that I'm like, why would they do this or why would they do that? I don't understand the strategy here. And you're just like, oh, because X, Y, and Z, and it's like, oh, that makes sense.
Right?
Versus like if I was by myself just Googling it and going through like forums and Reddit and like kind of trying to learn from Wikipedia, I would obviously it's much more fun and much more community driven being with you guys. And then obviously this year was the first time I've been to the parade versus last year. But yeah, so definitely I got to be a little bit more of a passenger princess this time around because
That's a great way to put it.
I had no idea the logistics that had to go into this. So Shauna was sharing this huge like document with the checklist, and I was like, "What can I help with? It looks like you've got it covered." But
Shout out to yeah, no, go ahead.
no, so I mean, I really couldn't do much leading, but I did as much supporting as I could.
No, you did an amazing job. So, and we're really proud of you and our Panther group chat. You've come a long way. You and Kelly, like you guys are awesome. And Kelly's fandom, I love to see. She's more of a like hockey fandom than Alan is with his Packers. And I never would have thought I would have ever said that, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Shout out to Cody from the Cats and Rat podcast here. He was supposed to come. We were supposed to meet up. We still haven't met. And he lives in Tallahassee. And on his way down, he actually ended up getting T-boned and I guess spun out. Thank God you're okay. You know, I was so happy.
Man.
That was the first thing I said. Are you okay? And he said, yes, I'm at the shop getting the car fixed. But he ended up going to the War Memorial yesterday So you got to definitely catch me up later on. Wish we would have met, but hey, I'm just glad you're okay. But let's kind of go back to the signs here, guys. Here is one of the best signs that was made. I think that went viral, right?
Yeah, so that was picked up by, I think, by Spittin Chiclets and on TNT and Bleacher Report Open Ice. So like probably across all of them, it was probably like over like 250,000 views, maybe 350,000 views, something like that.
It was crazy. And when I saw Bleach Report tweeted out Spittin Chiclets, it was insane. And I believe Barstool as well. So there were another group. Nikki Smokes did a video out there with it on. That was the best sign ever. And kind of to piggyback, I don't know if you guys all saw Spittin Chiclets episode today. Shout outs to them, Matthew Tkachuk and Biz Nasty for doing what they did today. Um, all for the shirts that Biz or that Keith Handel created of Biz, all those proceeds will be going to the NHL alumni for those for all their mental health and illness, and the other half is going to go to my season tickets. And unbelievable, all because Matthew Kachuk had the idea. I mean, I couldn't have think of it like this guy. Just when I think he's like can't get any better, he like tops it every time, right? It, I thought Club 11 was I was like, if I just like this is the only moment I have, I'm okay. But he just keeps going far and beyond. And shouts out to him. And I believe they asked him, what was your favorite part of the whole parade? And his answer was getting BigCeaz to be a part of the parade. I honestly, I was lost for words. And shout out to the Kachuk family and for everything that they've done. It's truly inspiring what he did. It just goes to tell you like hockey players are different, and Shauna kind of knows about it. We've been together for a long time as friends and going to hockey games for the longest times. And every time we meet the players, they're just like one of us, right? And being able to hang out with them at Live, right, Sierra, just like being able to talk to Nate Schmidt, just like we're like homies, and Barkov. One of the best special moments I had with Barkov is he came over to me and I told him, "Thank you for donating at Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital." He leaned over, gave me a big hug, and you could see in his face like, "Holy crap, that meant something to him." And honestly, that means a lot to me, and not only to me, but all those children out there that continue to fight whatever they have. Because of that hospital, I am here today. And going back to what the players mean to us fans, I mean, what other sports team celebrates like hockey players?
No, none.
Right?
We just saw the OKC Thunder parade today. It was nothing compared to what we saw on Sunday. I tell you that.
Oh my gosh. Like, not even close.
And
Like,
it wasn't even just, it was a whole week. Like my husband was like, "You're going out again, you're going to the elbow room again." And I said,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right? It's insane. And I still can't believe it. They're in the Bahamas right now, still partying.
They're in the Bahamas at Dairy Queen.
All right, Colin, I'll get the link out. I'll put it on here. I'll put it on all the platforms here in a bit. I'll definitely share the link. Give me a few minutes. But yeah, like guys, like what do you think of like their celebration, how they all did it and everything?
I think it's been super cool and fun. So we didn't go to 11, which honestly, I think if I was at 11, I would have been super worried because sometimes, Cesar, tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I worry about you more than you worry about yourself.
You think so?
Cesar lives in the moment.
You
That
think-
I feel like I would have been like, oh my
god.
God, like what's gonna happen here? So it's good to like wake up and like know you're okay and you have the night of your life without like having to protect you. And at least CC was there doing
I was his
the
backup.
Lord's
I
work.
had him. I'd make sure nothing would happen to him.
I love you so much for that. I woke up that
Oh.
next morning and I immediately grabbed my phone and looked at your location. I'm like, okay, he's home. Good.
So I just sent out the link, everybody. Click on it. That is the link to go get the shirts. Half of the proceeds go to the NHL alumni, and the other half goes to the BigCeaz season tickets. So that's awesome by them to do. But I also want to give a shout out to David Torres. We got to meet him. He was hanging out at our tent. Him and Nick, really awesome. They couldn't stop thanking us enough for having him out there. I'm like, dude, you're part of the family. Like, enjoy the moment because David, I believe, doesn't live here. So he actually just traveled for the parade, and he wasn't able to experience it last year, I don't think. So it was awesome to finally meet him. And there's just so many people out there too that flew from other states and other parts of the country just to be a part of the parade. It was incredible. So let's kind of go into after the signs were made, after we were getting ready. I think we all got set up and waiting for the parade to start, right? And compare kind of how it started from this year to last year. Last year, we had rain. It was crazy. Now, this year, it was hot as.
Million
Yeah.
degrees outside.
So, I want to ask this question. Which was better, last year's temperature weather-wise or this year's weather-wise?
We did have a breeze this year. So I did like that. We did have a bit of a breeze in the beginning. It kind of disappeared, but at least we had it for a little bit.
Yeah, early it was actually perfect. But once literally the players started rolling out on the street, it was awful. Like incredible. There was like shout out to the paramedics, the police officers,
Oh, they were
everybody
so
there.
great.
They were amazing just because there was people left and right fainting, and they did an amazing job getting people water, making sure they were hydrated. Because honestly, if you haven't been experiencing South Florida weather, the humidity is so bad, and just being out there, like once there was no breeze, you couldn't really get away from that. So, that's why I was like, how could you not have tents? How could you not allow people to have tents there? So I'm so glad they let people keep the tents out there because that was something that did save a lot of people's lives there.
Yeah, I think I liked the weather last year better with the rain, even though it was like we didn't think it was going to rain. Everybody like bum rushed our tent. We were like cramped in there. It didn't feel, even though we were cramped, it didn't feel as hot as it did this year. And especially too, because after Cesar joined the parade, like we all went to the beach and Victoria and I like had to go back because it was so hot. And so my ginger self
Right?
preferred the rain, but I said this, I saw it all over Twitter. Night parade next year. Have it start at
Right?
6 o'clock. We
Yeah.
can get there at 4. What does everybody else think for the weather?
Shout out to Rock and No real quick. Yeah, this is a great point. So Reinhart wasn't able to be in it last year, and you could see how he was like literally enjoying every moment. And I think I've learned more about Reinhart this year partying than I've ever have. He is insane. I love that guy. So yeah, shout out Rock and No. That was awesome. Great point there. But yeah, honestly, oh man, this is so hard because I don't know which one I liked more, like as weather wise. Um, the rain, it would have sucked because in my chair, obviously. And
I
the
think
lightning.
we had a lot of fun with the rain though. We made the best of it. So
Yeah, we
I
did.
think
We
kind
did.
of I think I agree with Shauna too, just because we're like, you know what? It's here. It's not going anywhere. We have our tent.
And
Let's have fun.
and
Like
it was our first parade.
That's true.
We were
That is
so
true.
excited. I don't
Yeah.
even think we cared much about the
Yeah.
rain because we were just like, all right, as long as we stay here, we're gonna see
Although
our boys.
Gator
The
Art does make a
lightning.
good point. The lightning, that I think that was more concerning for everybody.
That was
I think
scary.
Alexa last year was like, as soon as she saw lightning,
She
she's like,
ran
I'm out
inside
of
the
here.
bubble gump.
I'm
She
out of
ran
here,
inside the
guys.
bubble gump. Yep.
And
We're
I'm
all
like,
in
But then we were all
chairs.
holding on to the metal
oh,
canopy.
and then I had my
On
electric
it.
chair, so everybody's asking me, Cesar, don't you want to go inside? I'm like, I ain't leaving. I ain't leaving.
Okay, Sam Bennett.
Yeah.
I will say a core memory of that lightning was everybody was chanting "F the lightning" because,
Right?
of course. So
That
that
was
was actually very
iconic.
funny.
That was
Yeah.
an iconic chant. And there was actually a lot of chants this year that were iconic. 8 more years. 8 more. Dude, amazing.
And we want 3. We want 3.
We
And the
want
4 more years for Marchand. We actually heard that at the
Yeah.
elbow room, and his family was like, "Yeah, keep
keep
going,
going.
keep
Keep going
going."
up.
So I think his
Right?
family wants Florida. Just throwing it out there.
His stepson
Right.
had the shirt that said "Sign them all," so he was all locked in. He's there.
Sign them all. I'm down for it. But yeah, so then let's kind of get started on how the parade started. What did you guys think of this year's parade as how it was ran compared to last year?
Smooth.
It was a lot
A lot
more
smoother.
organized, so it was like
Yeah.
super fast. Like I feel like the buses were just going, and last year I think to the point of the rain, everybody was chaotic and fun because we're just all soaked and all rules are away at that point because nobody looks normal at that
Right?
time. So
Yeah, no
I
shirts
think like
from any
yeah,
of the
the
players.
boys were shout out Forcing, no shirt. Oh my. But
Ladies.
but yeah, hide your wives for sure. But yeah, I just feel like because of the rain, everybody was like just totally AWOL. And it was our first one and nobody really knew what was going on. So this year was a lot more organized, but because of that, it was like
Very
moving
quick.
really fast.
Not many people getting off the buses and everything. They kind of just stayed on the buses as they went by. Like we have so many videos from last year where they all just came up to us.
Right? And here, let me see if I can play this one. This was a clip. I don't know who this was, but let's see. Oh, that's Lundell.
Oh yeah.
That's the Finns. Yeah, that's the Finnish
Finns.
That was
females.
the finish line.
And
Yeah,
we
yeah.
had
I could tell with the
Marchand.
backwards hat always.
At least for our section, they did not come off the bus. So that was
No.
like a little sad.
Right? So yeah, no, I agree. It was definitely a lot more organized and people had a blast and there wasn't that many people walking on the ground, which I was surprised. Not that many players. Last year we had Forsling on the ground.
Lomberg,
Lomberg,
Bobby came by.
Yep. So there was a lot more people on the bus this year than there was last year. That's the only disappointing part. But towards the end.
I would also say too, we saw the cup a lot closer last year, a few times. This year, it really
Yeah,
only
with
came by
Montour bringing
once
it down.
Yeah,
was
it really
beautiful.
only came by once this year with Marchand on the bus, and that was it. We had Lomberg, Montour come by with it. There was quite a few guys that came by with it last year.
Right. And I think it was because because I did watch on some of the news stations, they did have a lot of the players on the ground towards the beginning, and maybe they just got on the bus towards the end because they were trying to get into the stage. So that could be another thing too. So
Yeah, because we were watching like the parade yesterday on TV, and it looks like before the parade started, they went into the Conrad with the cup, and they're like, I guess the parade's not starting because they're going off on their own. So I think the comment of they wanted players on the bus for discipline reasons might be on par. But speaking of players on the bus and getting off the bus, let's get into what everybody wants to know about.
oh man.
Cesar becoming part of the parade.
Oh my
Wait.
goodness. Are we
Before-
getting there already?
Oh,
I mean, I kind of feel like we can, but before we like dive all the way in, when we were setting up, we were trying to find the perfect spot for Cesar because these barricades are huge. Like they're Cesar size basically. And so we wanted to make sure that you could like see Cesar because we had the tent and then the barricades and he's like kind of in jail a little bit. So we tried to find like an opening where his face could like poke through. And as we found it, I'm looking at them all and I'm like, I have this feeling that as soon as the players see you, they are going to try to break these barricades down and get you into this parade. I can see it happening. And they're like, I don't know. Which, like, fair, because the barricades are locked, they're tabbed together, like it's a whole thing. There's a step down. Like, it's not easy for them to just break it open the way that they eventually did. But I really had the feeling that was going to happen.
Especially after 11. I like when you said it, I was like, I don't know. But after like thinking about it and all the stuff with 11, like it completely makes sense. So Sierra definitely did call it out.
Right? No, I think she did. That was a crazy moment. Just trying to find a spot because I was like, where should I go? And I, at one point earlier in the parade, I'm like, guys, shouldn't I be outside the tent just in case they can't see me? Because they're going to be on top of the buses. And, and then shout out to you, Sierra, too, and Kelly for creating that Cesar is here or Summer of Cesar, right?
Cesar in the house.
He had like 3 signs about
There's
Cesar.
also Caesar's Palace.
So many.
It was crazy because, like, honestly, I think that sign saved us because literally they saw it and they're like, "Oh, there's Cesar, and the owner Benny Viola saw me. Who else?
Paul Maurice saw
Paul
you.
Maurice.
He was blowing
kisses at us.
I still think the craziest one was the Luongo because he had already kind of half gone by and I could see his eyes light up and he was
His
just
jaw
like,
dropped.
It's amazing, dude. Because, like, honestly, after, like, I'll get later on more into it. But after, when I saw the players after they got to the stage, everybody was just having that moment to talk to everybody individually afterwards, which is so awesome to experience it. I couldn't have thanked the Florida Panthers, everybody, the training staff, the cheerleaders or whatever you call them. Everybody knew who I was and followed the story. And I think that's like the biggest why I'm like so surprised of like how big it's gotten. Like I'm used to people noticing me at the arenas, but like literally now it's to the point where like every single person knows who I am almost. And it's truly remarkable. And honestly, I can't thank everybody enough because this is honestly a dream come true. Just being to be a part of this with the players. For the longest time in my life, I've always wanted to be part of a organized sport and just wanted to experience that moment. Being able to be, it honestly felt like I was part of the players, like I was part of like the locker room vibe, and for Chucky to tell me at 11, Cesar, you're the reason we won this cup. Like, we were down 0-2 to Toronto. We heard your story, and the guys locked in, and they wanted to win for you. Like, honestly, that brought chills to me when I heard that. And I'm trying not to get emotional here because these last 3 years have been so hard.
Yeah, and for those who don't know Caesar's story, quick little spark note. So he's been going to the game, or him and I have been going to the game since like 2013 on and off. And then in 2022, he was diagnosed with a tumor, a bone tumor in his knee. So he missed the playoffs that year. 2023, the tumor came back, went into the hospital for surgery for it to remove, went into cardiac arrest for 3 minutes. Thankfully, he was able to come back to life, but he missed basically the whole playoff run. He got home right when we were in the Stanley Cup finals, but most of that series, he was in a coma, he was out. And so last year, we were like so happy to come back. And then now that we are again, and the players are recognizing him, and of course, like that was a super short version of it all. It's just so impactful.
It makes us all emotional.
Yeah.
It's truly amazing. And the players gravitating towards me. Nate Schmidt, I love that guy. I hope he stays.
Who doesn't at this point?
At the end
I was going to say you left him out because he came down and he gave you a hug too.
He did. He was one of the first ones to give me a hug.
He stared at you for a good 30 seconds and pointed at you too.
And there's also a video we sent to Biz personally, and he took the video and posted it virally, where we were giving him shit at 11. And honestly, Nate Schmidt that night at 11 had no voice. I don't know how he got through the night. He literally had no voice. He's like it was amazing. But just being able to hang out with them at 11 and just talk to them like normal people, it was so amazing. And then for them to give me the stage again to do a speech, that was so awesome. And all of that was so amazing. I'm like, dude, this can't get any better. And then you guys like, Cesar, every time you say that, it gets much better. And I know everybody on X, everybody on Instagram, I really appreciate the love. Um, on YouTube, thank you guys for following me along. Hit the like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. But not only you guys have been with me through this journey. A lot of people were asking, Cesar, are you going to be on the parade? Cesar needs to be part of the parade. He's a big part of this team. Please, Panthers, get him on the parade. And I'm like, guys, look, they're probably not going to do it. It's going to be a lot more strict this year. Maybe they don't want anything. And, everybody's like, the night came, and a friend of mine told me, he's like, they'll probably call you later that night. You know how the Panthers are, last minute thing. And I was like, oh, maybe. But we didn't end up hearing anything. And then, I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna like just staying here and enjoying it with my friends, and not only my friends, but all the fans out there, because I got to interact with all the fans, all the people. Because if I would have been a part of the parade, I wouldn't have been able to meet like all the amazing people that have been following me on this journey, but not only following me, following the Florida Panthers for the longest time. Like I've had so many people saying, I've been a Florida Panther fan since 1993. I still have those old tickets, the Miami Arena. Um, just stories like that. And you just kind of like take a deep breath and you kind of think of like the stuff that we've gone through. And then for us to be sharing this 2 years in a row, I was on cloud nine. And being able to meet David Torres here, Nick, shout out to Nick from the Cats and Rats podcast. Um, he didn't get to experience it last year. He was on a cruise to Italy, and he ended up missing everything. And you know, this year it was that much special. And I told him, Nick, you got to come to our tent. You got to enjoy it with us. Like we'll have a space. There's going to be a lot of room. And I'm so glad he came because he got to experience it with all of us. He got to meet David, he got to meet Cam, and he just couldn't stop thanking us enough for him being a part of it. And honestly, why not? We're all one big hockey family. And we didn't care if you're just a Panther fan new, if you're a new Panther fan or you're an old Panther fan. We welcomed every single Panther fan to this event because what's more important to me is growing the game of hockey, like getting people involved, getting young kids involved. I had little kids come up to me saying, "You're the guy from Twitter, or you're the guy from TikTok. I like you. Can I take a picture?" Like it's truly amazing how many people I'm touching, and honestly, this is the best thing that I could have ever done, and I couldn't have done it without you guys too. And we're gonna kind of get into what happened next. This was one of the most incredible moments of my life, and I will never forget. I'll play the video and we'll kind of explain after what happened and what transpired. But shout out to Shauna and Sierra because they did an amazing job of getting me out of there. So let's take a look.
So that's the Tkachuk family bus, right? Yeah, there he is, right there on the back.
And they're all pointing at you. They all
And
recognize
I
you.
see them pointing
back.
after.
And that's actually Matthew Tkachuk's sister.
Yeah.
So she came down and was holding to I don't know what those drinks are, but she was holding them for Matthew.
I think those are the surf sides.
There's Reinhart. Oh my God. And the other one was Magna, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So-
Brenda's hand.
And what are they trying to tell you? Like, we want you to walk with us.
So
are
what
they
was it?
saying?
They're like, Cesar, can I pick you up? Can I pick you up? I'm like,
They asked to pick him up, and we're like,
You-
I'm so sorry, but no.
You can read Tkachuk's lips too in that video if we post this. Yeah.
And then they're trying to come up with a plan of like, let's go around. So then we got to go around a bajillion people.
And it's funny too that you're holding the business crying shirt. And this part honestly was so chaotic. And this is on 3 times speed because if you hear the real thing, we're all screaming. I'm recording behind Cesar, and Cesar at certain points like refused to go, even though there were spots because he didn't want to run over people's toes. And I'm just like, you have to go. We need to get there. Go.
Trying to get everybody's
man.
attention, chanting Cesar,
Wow.
Cesar. At this point, let him through.
But of
Let
course,
him through.
so Matthew and Sam are here waiting for Cesar to get out, but the fans don't know that. So the fans are just like, oh my gosh, Matthew's right in front of my face. Sam's right here. Like they're professing their love, understandably. But we're like, hey, they're actually waiting for Cesar. Could you please move so we can get him through? And I don't think they were understanding what we were saying. And then, of course, a minute
then-
later, they got it.
I don't
Yeah.
think those people knew who I really was.
No.
Because there was this guy in front of me. He literally like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, you got room over here. Like, just move back. And he wouldn't move at all. And then once finally the police got there, then he moved. It's like, really?
Then he
bro?
found space. Then he found
Then
space.
I found space. But
Right. And it was crazy too because like Tkachuk and Reinhart were like just with the crowd. So I got in the back of Caesar's chair and I'm like trying to yell at them, like, he's here. He's here.
Because
And
at
I'm
one
like-
point, Chucky's looking for you. At one point, Chucky's like, where is Cesar? And I'm like, we have him. We're trying to get up there.
Yeah. And I'm like on the back of your chair and my legs are shaking because of the like adrenaline and trying to balance. Like I have bruises on my knees. And I just remember
oh
like,
my
he's
God.
here. I'm like, oh my gosh, are we not going to get him through? Are we going to get stuck here? And
It
then
was-
they came and they opened the barricade.
And it was just emotionally, it was emotional, just that whole thing. And I'm gonna try to find a video here of me rolling and walking with them. Let me see if I can. Okay, so this is one of my favorites. Here we go. Let's share it. And this is when Chucky sprays beer all over me. This was iconic. So last year I poured beer all over myself. This year Chucky pours champagne all over my face. I drink from the cup, and he also pours his beer on me. So such an iconic moment here.
Also, I bought those goggles specifically for Cesar.
Yes.
For
I
this
was gonna
moment.
say.
Shout out to the goggles, Shauna. Those were amazing. I love them. And this time he can't take them back, right? Because I think there's so many comments. People are like, he took back the goggles. What? I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, he took back the goggles. But it was really awesome to see Matthew Tkachuk. What a realist. And a lot of people were asking, so what did he say? What did you guys do? What happened during that moment? And I was like, honestly, I was just taking it all in. And, it was one of those moments where we were walking along, and he comes up to me and he's like, Cesar, just look at this. We're Stanley Cup champions, all because of you. You are our MVP. And he took his ring off of his finger, and he put it on me. And I literally just started pointing to the crowd. And, oh man.
It's okay.
And the reporter came up to me and Chucky, and she's like, Chucky, how does this feel? How does this feel? Can we interview you? And Chucky the whole time was like, no, interview Cesar. He's our MVP. We won because of him. Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. And I just think too, it just shows like the testament to you and like we were all crying when they took you. Like I took a video of myself crying, like they took Cesar, they took Cesar. And just because like we know how much this means to you. And it's just so cool that you got to experience this.
And yeah, I got to experience it with all of you guys, all the Panther fans, and not just Panther fans, but like hockey fans all over. Like Jesse's a big Winnipeg Jets fan. Him and his brother Jaden, and I've become really close friends, and they tell me how inspiring I am every day. And Toronto Maple Leaf fans actually send me messages saying, "Dude, I'm a Maple Leafs fan, but I love your story and I followed you. I was so happy to see you guys win." Um, Edmonton fans too, uh, fans from all over the world. I mean, just look at this. I mean,
Like pointing
Yeah,
at
pointing
you.
at you.
Amazing.
And then that's when you're getting interviewed too. I think my favorite part about that live interview was even Mike Cunho from CBS. As soon as he saw you on the camera, he's like, "Oh my God, it's our boy! It's BigCeaz. They got him out there."
it was just amazing, and just being able to like go back and and just think about everything, and hearing the crowd saying my name, screaming Caesar, Caesar. Um, I'm still speechless.
It's so special. I feel like I've never seen anything like this in sports, to be honest. Like this is so epic and it's so special and you are the most deserving person on the planet.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Agreed.
No, you're
Whew.
good. And for me, it's really cool too because like we're gonna go back in time during the Huberto Tkachuk trade because we were so sad when Huberto got traded because he was so nice to Cesar. I felt like we met Huberto a handful of times. He like approached Cesar at Hooters one day, introduced him to his family. One time I went to the open house for the 25th anniversary and Cesar was sick. So I FaceTimed him and I gave like Huberto my phone. First he looked at me like, what? And then he's like, oh, it's Cesar. And I stood there for 5 minutes while he was having a conversation with him. So when the trade happened, like I was heartbroken because of that relationship that they had. And to now see Kachuk like organically take over that relationship and like pull Cesar into the crowd and into the parade and everybody getting the chance to like meet him and talk to him and take pictures that we didn't get on his camera. Like it's so cool and it just means so much because Cesar not just going through everything he's been through. He's such a good person. He's such a good friend. He's been there for all of us through some really hard times. And it's just so meaningful to see somebody you care about so much who has such a big heart, like live their dreams. And so we keep saying, like, it's not going to get better than this, but somehow it will.
It will. And like, shout out to Kirby too. I want to give him a big shout out because he welcomed me with open arms to the Cats and Rats podcast. And honestly, I've had so much fun with the guys being on and being able to go live on air and being able to do like break down the NHL trade deadline. That was one of the biggest highlights for us. Being able to call out the Brad Marchand trade before it happened. Um,
That was
I
epic.
we would just like sit there and watch it over and over again and couldn't believe it actually happened. And like you said, Shauna, like it like coming all the way around where Matt like Jonathan Huberto to this day still remembers me. I sent him a comment. I'm like, hope you and your family are well. We miss you here in Florida. He sent a reply say, hope all is well, and he liked my comment. So that goes to show you that like he still remembers who I am. And honestly, Matthew Kachuk has been like literally taken over that role, and it feels like I'm living through both of them. And honestly, Matthew Kachuk, I feel like he's like a brother of mine. The whole Kachuk family, being able to meet his mom Chantel, right, her Cameron, she was just so amazing and just coming up to me saying, "You're BigCeaz. We saw you on Spittin Chiclets. My family loves you." And just hearing that, and then she saying, "I want to take a picture with you." I'm like, "I want to take a picture with you." Like, I gotta know how to ask, but she asked for me, and like those moments, and then also too during the games, being able to run into Sam Bennett's family saying, "Cesar,
Mhm.
you're big in Canada. Everybody knows who you are. My whole family loves you." Um, just goes to show you how big this story has gone out and how amazing it's been. And being able to share it with everybody has been truly amazing. And, like I said, Kirby, I really thank you, man. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me that motivation too. I know you say I motivate you, but we motivate each other. And honestly, all my fans, all of you guys motivate me to keep going, to keep creating content. Um, for the longest time, I wanted this to be like my thing. I wanted to do something with sports. I didn't know what it was going to be. And, for Spittin Chiclets and a Busy Boy, allowing me to use their platform to share my story, and for Tkachuk to include me in to be a part of the team this year is unbelievable. And I can't thank anybody enough, because it's been such an emotional journey, and I feel like it's still not finished. We're still celebrating, and there's still a lot more to come too. And I can't wait to see what we have in store.
Yeah, and it was funny too because during the whole like beginning part with Biz, I was like joking in the chat with everybody and like, Caesar, God brought you back so you could get into a Twitter war with Biz, so you could, chirp at Biz. But when
Hmm.
I like think about it now, like what all has happened, it's like he knew your time wasn't up, and like to see everything that's got like has happened, it just feels like so divine. The universe, God, whoever you want to believe in, like there was a purpose for you and you are living out this purpose now, and it makes me emotional. I'm like getting the chills, and it's just so cool how picking on our boy Busy Boy has led to all of this and you living out your dream. And again, thank you to all the people who are listening to us, commenting, liking, sharing Caesar stuff, because he's been wanting to do this for so long, right, Kelly? Like, when do you remember him saying, I want to be like a sports podcaster?
Well, it started off with the inspirational speaking and stuff. Remember, he used to go to schools and
Mhm.
stuff, and I mean, he's always been an inspiration, and he's always been in sports, and so like I'm so glad that now he's got this platform and everything, and he's so good for himself. I'm so proud of you, Caesar.
Yeah, thank you guys. I really I couldn't have done this all without you guys, Kelly. Thank you for always being there, for taking my mom to the hospital every single day, and for you guys coming to visit me, and for you, Cameron and Sean, and going to the games and not selling the tickets. Thank you. And just for everything else. It's unbelievable. And shouts out to RC here, who's been helping me with the project that we're going to be launching, and I'm going to kind of share it here because I think it's truly special, and I've gotten so many messages from so many people. And you guys want to show the shirts here?
Yeah, there you go, baby.
There we go. And I'm wearing mine. Um we have some memorabilia. I'll be putting out the link here. Um Here we go. Let me see which one is it. Here it is. We
Mm.
have shirts, guys. We finally have the shirts. The iconic shirt with me wearing it at the parade here. Shouts out to RC, lives in North Dakota, helped me create these, design them. He has a little shop there that they're actually helping us with this. So really appreciate everything that you've done, RC. Couldn't have done it without you. He's a fan of North Dakota, who's and we also got this Busy Boy shirt, which is my favorite, right? And it's crazy because now when I literally go out to, literally when I was at the beach at Elbow Room, cars literally pulled down their windows and they screamed "Busy boy." So we got hoodies and stuff like that. I'll share the link below. But honestly, and also don't forget too, guys. Again, Spittin Chiclets, that Biz Idiot T-shirt. If we can go ahead and help the not just for me to get season tickets, because I really don't. It's not about me anymore. Honestly, I'm so happy that Chucky and the Spittin Chiclets guys are doing something to help the NHL players. And if I can be involved in helping the NHL players help them with their mental health, because for those of you who don't know, there's a couple of Panther players that passed away because of suicide, and that's something that some of us battle, and we don't know how to get through it. And if we can help one of those players get through the 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 grind of playing in the NHL, getting those headshots, I think that's really important, and that's something that I really, really cherish and really want to accomplish here. So, shout out to the Spittin Chiclets crew, Biz Nasty for doing that. Shout out for Matthew Tkachuk for doing that as well. And guys, I can't believe it. It's it's been 2 years, 3 Stanley Cups in 3 years. It's truly amazing. It really, really is.
And Cesar, do you want to tell everybody too what happened like after you joined the parade and
Oh
when they
yes,
went on stage?
Yeah,
yes,
we
yes.
don't, because we didn't see. We were like, okay, well, he's gone. We'll find him after, I guess.
And the
He
cops
got
are like,
kidnapped.
they're like, he's not alone. I'm like, he's fine. He'll call you. I'm like, there's no cell service. He's with all these people, but we did find you after like trying to get up to the stage and
Right?
I was very
down.
nervous for you.
No, it was crazy because let me share the link. I'm going to share it on all the platforms here, and I'll share it here on Instagram. I want to thank all the people on Instagram too. I forgot that we had people on there. We can't really see the comments on there. So, but we really appreciate everybody joining on Instagram as well. Um, this has been amazing. And yeah, so it's crazy because after the parade, everybody left, right? Everybody that had VIP access after the stage thing event, they all left. All the fans that got VIP left. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stay here because they have to get out one way or another, right? I'm not leaving. So I ended up staying. Cam and Sierra were there, like, Cesar, come on, let's go. I'm like, no, I'm not leaving. You guys can go. I'll meet you guys back. But they ended up staying there. And slowly but surely, the players started coming out. And I got to meet a couple of the yeah, I got a couple pictures here. Let me see if I can find them. But I got to meet Benny Viola, his wife. Um, she's so amazing. She's done a great job with the players.
Did she
She's
smell like champagne, Caesar? Sorry. You saw that happen on
yes,
stage, right?
they all smell like champagne. Um, here's a picture. Here we go. Let me just share the screen while I kind of go through this, so that way you guys can follow along. Um, thank you guys for being patient here.
Yeah, there's lots of videos and pictures to sort through, isn't there?
Yes, like
How
honestly,
many, how many were in the shared photo? Is that over 200 when I saw it
Like
today?
400.
400 at least, right? It
Oh
was.
my gosh.
It's
And that's not
All
including
Caesar stash. Caesar has
Yeah.
a bunch.
Yeah, I took so much on Caesar's phone that he hasn't looked through. So guys, be on the lookout. We got content for days.
there's Kyle's best friend right there, the one and only Evan Rodriguez.
Wow.
Honestly, Evan Rodriguez was such a unicorn. He had the biggest smile on his face when he poured the champagne. When I got to drink the champagne over me, he was like so happy. He was like, "Dude, this is amazing." Shout out to him. He's amazing, amazing guy. I'm kind of gonna go through. Oh, so these are the shots that Cam took, right? Because he was in the back with Sierra, and I actually got to meet Paul Maurice. Here's Here's a picture of Paul Maurice, guys.
Can you see in her wait, in the reflection of her glasses you can see you, but you can't see Paul.
It was so I was so disappointed, right, guys? I was
And
like,
is that
guys,
who's this one?
and this was one of them. I guess some other girl, or this could be Paul's daughter.
Yeah,
I
wait,
think
click
this
on
was.
it. Maybe we could see in the glasses.
Let's see. Yeah,
I
that's
can see
Paul's
his
daughter.
shirt.
You can see
Right.
the shirt. That's the one.
There you
That's the
go.
one. Yeah. So she ended up taking the picture of herself. It's all right. I ended up posting on X. I'm like, guys, I got to meet Luongo and Paul, and I posted both of their pictures. They honestly thought it was the funniest thing ever. Um, and here's an iconic photo. Public
Oh, yeah,
subs.
that
Yes.
Public subs.
Public
If you
power
ever want to
play.
sponsor me,
was-
I'm your boy. Look at this picture. That just says it all, right?
I think we need a Publix in Finland after this too. You see,
Yeah, right. The Finnish
Yeah.
flag.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
and Barky can franchise them in Finland. How about that?
And here's Nate Schmidt, right? Just amazing. He was the first one to give me a hug today, or at the parade too. Just an amazing guy. Here we go. Finally,
Yeah.
finally, the
Somebody
like
came through with that.
shout out to social media. Because
Yeah.
after I posted that, somebody replied with this picture and said, "How are we not going to have BigCeaz have that epic moment with Paul Maurice?"
Yeah.
Honestly, I was so happy when Jake told me. He sent me that post. He goes, "Cesar, you got to check your thread." I'm like, dude, I can't keep up with it. It's so many people replying. It's insane. And then oh man, it's just amazing. He's like, BigCeaz, oh my gosh, meet my daughters, meet my kids. And I was like, where's Jake? Where's Jake? He was the last one to come out. If you all don't know, Jake is the one who threw the beer last year. Totally missed. And Shauna ended up shotgunning it.
Shotgun.
And then I ended up spraying it all over me. But man, meeting the GOAT, Paul Maurice. I still haven't found that picture of whatchamacallit,
Who?
Roberto Luongo. So I still haven't found it.
The
But-
internet, do your magic.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
anyways, after that, what happened when I got home, guys, or when we were going home?
Oh,
Your-
well, we
your
were
chair-
trying to get you around the beach, and I was like, why are you going so slow, Cesar? Can you pick up the pace? Can you move? And you're like, no, I actually can't. My
I
chair's
can't
broken."
move. My chair doesn't raise up and down.
When
It's
did you
stuck.
realize this? So was that before you met up with us or after? Like what
It was
point were-
after when I got to the tent and I was eating my sub, and I was like, guys, I can't go up and down because you guys told me let's go faster, Cesar. I'm like, I can't. I'm stuck in turtle mode. And luckily, I was able to move, just really, really slowly. And the next day, I called my wheelchair guy, Rich, and shout out to We Roll in Miami, or How We Roll in Miami. They came out and they literally fixed the chair. So here's the video that I posted yesterday after the incident happened.
They're
Yeah, at one
fixing
point I was gonna be like, Cesar, is it easier if he does this with you not on the chair?
And you know what? You know what I think the worst thing about it is it was actually a great shirt. That was the Bill Zito
Great
shirt.
It was amazing.
It was.
And look at it. Literally.
Yeah.
At least like their faces are still intact.
I was just
No,
gonna say
it
the
is.
image there.
I'm hanging that thing. It's
You
going to be
should.
hanging on the back of my wall. So anytime I do podcasts, it'll be back there. Everybody can see it.
This is what it's supposed to look like. Shout out to Nick who actually caught one. It looks super cool. Zito, come on. It's unfortunate, but I think we're all happy that the chair is okay.
Yes.
That's
That's
a lot
the
more
most important
expensive.
part.
Okay.
So yeah, and I kind of like want to I don't know if you guys saw the video today, but let's kind of share it. I was actually on the West Palm Beach news. They did a really good job of it. So here's a video.
I think you need your sound on.
Yeah, we don't hear the sound.
No?
Nah.
Maybe I don't know if the listeners can, but we can't.
No. Okay.
Subtitles.
All right.
We're
So,
testing everyone's reading skills.
yes.
Well, we can put it, we can link it, and you can post it on your
Yeah.
pages for everybody to watch.
So
It's
I'll
really-
post it later, so that way everybody can watch it and stuff. So they did a really good job. It was short but it brief, and they got a lot of stuff in there. So, and they actually did it this morning. It was crazy. I'm like, he's like, can I come over and just do the interview? I was like, I'm kind of working. Let me call off, and then yeah, come over. So he literally just came over down this, because I guess they work for Palm Beach, and did the interview real quick, and yeah, it was really cool. But man, wasn't a crazy ride. Chat, is there any memorable moment that you guys had that you want to share with us, or any questions real quick? We got about 5 minutes that we can kind of go through. Any questions for me? Any questions for the
I got a
girls?
question for you, Steve. What was one
Yeah,
of your
sure.
favorite what was one of your favorite signs that you saw at the parade that wasn't ours? Because I it's not really a sign, but I loved that everybody had the Dairy Queen Stanley Cup, the Blizzard.
Yes,
I thought that was pretty cool.
there was so many, dude. The creativity by the people.
I
Shout outs to the people. I believe they had a sign there where like Bennett they flipped up and then it had a sign here. You know, it was
Yes,
such
for Marcy
amazing
too.
for
That was a great one.
Marty. I believe this little kid. God, I forgot his name, but his mother sent me a message on Instagram. I got a wrap for him with my name on it. I told him I would send him, but he made a crown, and Brad Marchand got the crown and wore it at the parade.
That was his crown.
That was his
Whoa.
crown, and the
Wow.
kid was on cloud nine. The the news reporters did a little story on it, Channel 10, and when I saw that, I'm like, man, that is so awesome.
Wow.
Let me give him I sent him a little video. I'm like, keep doing what you're doing. Never limit yourself. We're Stanley Cup champions. The Florida Panthers love you, and I'm gonna give him a rat and maybe a T-shirt, because I think stuff like that is so amazing, and it's so touching that he touched me too, and I love stories like that. So it's truly amazing what the crowd did, and literally everybody was a part of it, and just being able to experience the cup together is so amazing. Not once, but 2 years in a row now, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
For sure.
There was also a cool moment, although he wasn't shirtless. As soon as Forsling walked by you, he realized that he walked by you, he literally stopped in his tracks and turned around and came back and gave you a hug. And I thought that was very sweet.
Dude, that was cool because I didn't realize it until I watched it too, right? And
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, Matthew Tkachuk is going to the stage. Oh no, wait, he's turning around. I think he's gonna go see Cesar." And
Oh, that too.
literally, it's just awesome. That just goes to tell you like who Tkachuk is, right? I honestly one of
All
the
of
craft-
them. They all did that. They all like stopped in their tracks to turn around and go back and see you. So it
It's
was really sweet.
amazing. Here's a question from RC. RC, who is your dream podcast guest? Ooh, I like that one. Obviously, I think you guys all know who it is.
Paul Maurice.
Pimo.
Of course, Paul Maurice. That is my true get all time. Hopefully we can get this happen. I know Jake said that he would try to make it happen, so that'll be awesome. Hopefully Jessica Blaylock too. She's awesome. I love her content, her work with Bally Sports back in the day and with Script Sports now. But yeah, and maybe Matthew Tkachuk. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
That'd be epic.
At this point, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Anything. Never limit yourself, guys. So I have a question for you guys, and we'll kind of go for each one of you. Which was your favorite part of this whole journey? Cameron.
Of the whole journey, like from the
This
start of
year?
the City Boys to the end of the postseason.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it was, and I feel fully comfortable saying this because everybody at work knows where I was, but it was probably going on Wednesday morning to the elbow room, even though I got there a little late and most of the boys are already gone. going to the elbow room on Wednesday and being there basically the whole day was super fun because we were
Right?
all
Because you missed it last
and
year and you were at work and you were like, gosh,
I
I
should have
wish I
just
could have
gone.
just gone. Right?
hmm
So yeah, good one. Good one. I like that one. Shauna?
It's hard. I'm kind of torn. I actually really enjoyed meeting Biz, even though we didn't do well that period. But I just felt like it was really cool to meet with him and like everything that's happened, and even too where I was like, "You put Cesar on the map," and he's like, "No, Cesar did it himself." But also like you walking in the parade or rolling in the parade, because that's been like your dream. So even though it was like so chaotic, like it was, and we didn't get to see like the rest of it, we just like saw you you leave. But I think for me that was really cool. But this whole experience has been like so crazy and like out of like any other experiences we have, especially since we've been going to the games for so long. It like feels so weird the fact that we like have two Stanley Cups, because I felt like for the longest time I was just like, it's a Stanley Cup, like we're never gonna see it, whatever, it doesn't matter, I'm having fun. And now I'm
Right?
like, wow, we won. So
We
twice.
did. And Sierra?
How lucky are we that I am overwhelmed by having to pick just one? But I do think looking at you like every 10 minutes at 11 to be like, is this real life? We're like, are we dreaming
How many
right now?
times did we look at each
Like,
other and we're like,
I
is
have
this
like
happening? Is this
one of the
happening?
boys are like actively tripping over us because they're like so
Was that
drunk.
Greer? I think that was Greer.
Greer, like they took turns like tripping over us, and I'm like thanking them. I'm like, thank you for falling on top of me right now, but also please stand up for your own sake. But yeah, that was amazing. We just kept looking at each other. We're like, are we dreaming? Is this real life?
Right? Just unbelievable. And I think Jen too, because she got to experience it firsthand. Like, shouts out to my boy Mike as well. I told him how to give him a shout out. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to go because I did ask you guys, and you guys didn't want to go. So
next year, because we're all
Like
regretting it. We all had FOMO.
We're all taking the
looking
week
at
off.
all the
Yeah.
pictures,
as soon
videos
as
in the chat
as
the
soon
next
as that
day.
video was sent, I knew you guys were gonna regret it.
I told her
100%.
first thing in the morning, I'm like, don't open the group chat. You're gonna be so mad that we didn't go.
Because at one point I was like legit thinking about it. Cameron's like, "Are you serious right now?" like, my sister and I were texting back and forth, and I was like on the fence, but I'm like, I'm gonna regret no matter what I do.
To be fair, though, I don't have the stamina of all of those boys on the Panthers roster, and I was exhausted from being at the elbow room with Cesar and Kelly the day before. That was exhausting to be out
Honestly,
there in the sun with everybody for that long the day before. So I was just not prepared for 11.
it was definitely something you don't really prepare for. I was just going and I was like, just the thing with me, I'm like a spare of the moment, like, whatever, let's just do it. Like, who cares? I don't like look at what's gonna happen or what's not gonna happen. I just do it. With whatever happens, happens. And shout out to Jesse too. He was there helping us out, get me through the crowd, and you know, and I believe Zach, who actually works with the Panthers as part of the with the equipment boys. So he got the equipment guy to notice me, to get Matthew Tkachuk's attention, to let Matthew Tkachuk know I was at 11. And literally right after Tkachuk knew I was there, went straight to me, right? And just unbelievable, unbelievable. Um, and Kirby's got a little insider there on cam, right? That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, you Kelly, what was your favorite part?
I'm sitting here and I'm like, we went out so much. I went out Tuesday night with you guys. I went out Wednesday during the day. I went out Friday night. I went out Saturday to the Sawgrass to see Chucky. Went out on Sunday the parade. Oh my gosh. I think it's a tie. I think it's a tie between meeting up with you guys after the game on Tuesday, because we were all so pumped and we were celebrating together. We went to go see Kyle's kick-ass band. I mean, that was that was so great. It was such a great
Dude,
high that we
Kyle
were
did
on.
such an amazing job.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was like, I don't want it to end. Like, can you play those songs again?
But then the other part of me is thinking about when I went to Elbow Room on Friday night and I held up my phone and I asked Marshy to take a video of him and say hi to my
that
daughter.
was really
And he
cool.
took my phone and said hi to her, gave her a nickname,
Shales.
Shales. I love that so much. And that was like, I was like, oh my gosh, Brad, you're so sweet.
Right?
If we could call her that now. I'm like, can we use Brad's
Yeah,
nickname
right.
for you?
That's her new nickname on my phone, Shales.
Like, that's
I
a huge
love
deal.
it. I
wish
love it.
you would nickname me. That's amazing.
Right?
She's
That's
now part
amazing.
of the team. You
Yeah,
have a
that's
nickname,
huge.
you're part of the
100%.
team now. That's
That's
what I told her.
exactly what I told her.
100%. 100%. What was your favorite moment, Victoria?
I mean, I don't think I couldn't get out and join you guys for a lot of the celebrations because of work, but I was, trying to catch up with everything in the group chat, and I definitely tried to, pitch in as much as I could for the parade on Sunday. But I mean, I don't know, is it too cheesy to say like just joining you guys? Because I know, like, Cesar, you like really admire how Chucky, like, it does all of this outreach and really like it's for the fans and is all about being a team player and the actual team themselves always, not really like playing for themselves, but playing together for the team. The team is always first. And I feel like you are that embodiment, but from a friend group perspective, like just because I'm kind of new to hockey, like you welcome me with open arms. You're so easy to talk to and kind of like include me. And I just feel like for me, like that's the highlight being with you guys.
No, and like
I
you're
feel
really
like
right.
Caesar is our Bobby. You know how everybody goes up and hugs Bobby at the
Like
end.
your goalie.
Caesar's our Bobby.
But
I,
he's way
I don't
more
mind.
chaotic than Bobby.
Yes, I was gonna say Bobby's a little bit more mellow and chill and relaxed when he celebrates.
Hey, you know who didn't take a champagne shower that I saw at 11 from the cup? Bob, but you did.
And Verhage. I think Verhage too. So no, I mean just what an incredible ride, what an incredible moment. It's been truly remarkable, and like I said, guys, I couldn't have done this all without you. I couldn't have done it without Spittin Chiclets. Shout out to Biz again. Shout out to the players, every single one of them. Ekblad, oh my gosh, I forgot to mention. I don't know if I did mention him or not, but meeting his brother at the arena was another highlight of mine. Like he noticed me. He was like the first one. He's like, BigCeaz. And as soon as I saw his face, Ekblad's brother. Like literally, they look exactly alike. Awesome. He's like, dude, we're biggest fans of yours. Keep doing what you're doing. And, you know, for them to help me push my platform, the sky's the limit. I want to continue doing this. I want to make this like my true day job. I want to be able to experience it, not just with hockey, because you know all types of sports, and maybe we can get with football and all these other sports into it as well. But hockey is going to be number one because the Florida Panthers, what they've done for me and for you guys and for all the fans out there, all 26 and a half dirtbag fans, is truly special. And with that, anything else, guys, that we want to say?
Thank you, Cesar, for letting us join you in this ride.
Yeah.
Oh man, no. I thank you guys, and we'll be back next year, and it's gonna be that much better, that much sweeter. We're gonna get 3 of these babies.
Back to back to back.
Taking over the dynasty. Hey, even the
Yes.
Spittin Chiclets said it.
Yeah.
They said that we could get like 2 more in the next 5 years, which I was
That
like,
was Biz. That was Biz saying it.
like
too.
I was shook. I was like, wow, they actually finally believe in us.
Yeah.
All it took was winning the cup back to back to no longer
Right?
be the underdog. Okay.
Oh, and like I always say, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, one shift at a time, one period at a time, one game at a time. Let's go, Cats.